Hey, what's up, everybody? Another episode of Wesam's World coming at you live every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on Adobe Radio Live. Our guest today is World Champion Jiu-Jitsu Black Belt Isaac Doederlein. He's a black belt under Cobrinha, world champion at the IBJJF level, a Pan Am's gold medalist, and a top finisher on the international scene in both gi and no gi. You can check him out in the latest season of UFC BJJ Road to the title. Just an absolute amazing person, amazing guy. He also teaches at Little Tokyo Fight Club 8 times a week. You can check him out here if you're in the LA area, downtown LA, and Little Tokyo. Again, Little Tokyo Fight Club. He's also opening up his own school, Varsity, here opening up soon. Enjoy the show. First and foremost, how's the arm?
It's getting better.
It's
getting better. Yeah. Surprisingly, it's only been 4 weeks, but yeah, I mean, it was it was a dislocation, so that can be, in some cases, not so ideal. Some people say that it's better if it's actually a fracture, just because, like, for whatever reason, the healing process goes a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been 4 weeks. I'm able to fully extend it. I've been doing like lots of rehabbing on it. I'm waiting for my MRI results to come back. Hopefully in the next couple of days, the UFC is going to send it to me. So then, yeah, we'll see like kind of what the next step is.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you're all natural, Natty King.
Yes, sir.
What supplements can you take to speed up the healing process that still live in that realm?
Yeah, I'm just taking like the natural stuff, like protein, creatine. I'm just trying to eat as much as I can because, generally I like to eat I like to stay leaner. But since I haven't been training and like I have been like taking more time off, I'm just trying to like make sure that I'm like getting lots of calories in. So I'm eating 3 meals a day plus snacks, my protein shakes, all that stuff. And it's nice because I don't have to eat as much as I usually do because since I'm not burning the calories, it's like my body's able to kind of like intake all that and then focus on healing. So that's definitely helping a lot.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good
No
to hear,
HGH here.
Well, then, have you heard of BP 157?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be considered in the non-natural category, or would that still be in the natural?
I don't know. That one, I've talked to a couple people about it. I don't think that that's as big of a deal. I feel like because in my mind, like when I'm thinking being natty, I'm thinking about like performance enhancing, right? So if you take something like that, I don't think that it gives you any like extra performance edge. Like it's not making you super jacked or giving you like insane cardio or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't think I would write that off. When I'm thinking performance enhancing drugs, it's like, stuff that's going to make you stronger, quicker, you know what I mean? Even like give you an insane like amount of recovery, right? But I think BPC, I think it's geared more towards injuries, right?
It's a peptide to help the healing process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it does anything if you're not injured.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is bro science, by the way.
Yeah, it's bro science. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What I heard is that like with those things, my buddy's doctor, so he was telling me about it before, it's like it's not FDA approved. So it says something like not for human use, like only for animals or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I know that like that is like a big thing in the bro science community. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah. And over the past, I think, decade, I've been a little, even if it's not FDA approved, I'm always like, well, there's a little bit of, I'm not, it's not like my Bible, if you will. Like I just don't go, okay, if it's not FDA approved, I'm just not going to try it at all. Yeah. Because I've heard a lot of good things about it. And so I'm 2.5 years into my jiu-jitsu journey. I think it's coming up on 3 in the fall.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, this is very interesting to me because I've heard people talk about whenever somebody's like on steroids or TRT or HGH, their grip strength or just their strength, it's like a complete, like you can notice somebody who's on it.
Definitely.
And it's never been really clearly explained to me. So could you expand on that a little bit? Like what's the difference? Is it that noticeable?
So it is very noticeable. You can see it sometimes in their bone structure. Like you can see it in their eyebrows and their fingers, their wrists. If you're doing things like HGH, for like not for like a short period, but for like a longer period of time, you could definitely see those differences. You'll see people's like skin like turn red. If you ever see someone that's like a little unnaturally jacked and you see that they're like red, that's also a common thing that you can look out for. But like from the performance side, it does everything, right? Like you get stronger, you recover like the Wolverine. You're able to do 3, 4, 5 training sessions a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see guys that they're just like, and they're they're able to maintain like a high muscle mass, right? So like me, I train a lot, right? So I'm like burning lots of calories, and like jiu-jitsu is technically like it's a lot of cardio, right? So for you to maintain like a lot of muscle, it's hard because you're just burning calories all the time, and it's like you have to not only eat a lot, but you have to do so much in order to stay big. And a lot of people even cut training sessions if they're natural. But if you're on performance enhancing drugs, it allows you to be able to maintain like a high muscle mass, right? And still be able to train all these sessions a day. So it just gives you all like at the end of the day, like a huge upper hand, right? And you can feel it like strength wise. Like I've fought people, and each time felt them get stronger. And then I've also fought people who have done steroids and then got in trouble, right? So they had like a ban and they couldn't compete for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. So I fought them again, and I felt a difference on how much weaker they were as well. So yeah, but I've literally like fought guys and like felt them grip me, and I look at them like, really, bro? Like you were not this strong a year and a half ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's just more fuel for the fire. It just excites me. It makes me, have the dog even more.
Well, when we rolled at Little Tokyo Fight Club, I bet you thought that about me.
I thought you were Jack. Yeah, I thought you were on steroids for sure.
I get that a lot.
No, definitely.
People say like, how much TRT do you use? I'm like, what are you talking about? What is that? It's a common problem I have.
No. I can tell. See it as a compliment.
It's on record now, so that'll make me happy. Dude, I gotta say, Little Tokyo Fight Club is such a blessing. That's how I got introduced in there. That's my first school.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, through James Choi, because he owns Yabaseo and Cafe Dulce, and I gotta say the community that's made there and that's connected so many people is just absolutely rare and a blessing out here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and you teach there how many times a week now?
So now I teach 8 times a week.
8 times a week there.
8 times a week, 5 days a week.
Awesome, man. People should definitely check that out. Are we still good on the 10-minute mark? Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. So if you're in Los Angeles area, check out Little Tokyo Fight Club. It's in downtown LA in the Little Tokyo area. It's in the Yabaseo little market, and in the back is the actual jiu-jitsu gym, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Every time somebody comes in there for the first time, they're like, whoa, this is like really weird and cool. So
definitely.
You posted something which I really want to get into because I think it's crucial in terms of development and a continued journey in jiu-jitsu and in life. Mm-hmm. We're going to get deep here, Isaac.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Okay. I think in life, you're bound to fail.
Absolutely.
You're bound to fail. You're bound to lose. And if you continue with intention and conviction, you're going to win as well. But more important than like winning, I think is learning how to win and how to lose. And your post on Instagram where you posted, hey, does anyone know any good armbar instructionals asking for a friend? First of all, hilarious. Second of all, I'm like, this guy gets it. You know what I mean? In terms of accepting what's happened in a light, humorous way and just accepting the reality. And so I really want to talk to you about that. How does one learn how to fail well or learn to lose well?
I think it comes with experience.
Yeah.
I think that when you're younger, you have like so much ego and sometimes when you lose, you want to like come up with different excuses and ways to make you feel better about your loss. But I think like as the experience comes and you get older and you realize that, no one's invincible, I feel like there's a moment that at least that happened to me where you start to come to terms with it. And like losing never feels good. It sucks every single time. It hurts just as much. But how you deal with the loss and the mindset that you have that you have when you receive that loss is what's gonna help you get to that next level, right? So as I've gotten older and I've won a lot and I've lost a handful, it's just like at the end of the day, like why take everything so seriously, right? It's not the end of the world. And I think it's something that I've definitely struggled with throughout my career is like your jiu-jitsu, like being good at jiu-jitsu and winning and being a champion for a while was my identity. And if I lost, it was like I would be having like an identity crisis the next day. Like, who am I? Like, what does this all mean if I'm not able to like maintain this level of success and competition? And it's a very unhealthy way to, I think, approach things. And I just think over time, like just dealing with that experience has made me, like I said, not take things so seriously, right? But obviously in the moment, fight your heart out and like try your best to succeed, because, you know, at the end of the day, like if you are able to succeed, it does make a difference in your life and in your career, right? So I think when I won the world championships in 2022, this is a championship that I had coveted my entire life. You know, I won it at 29 years old. And since I was 14 years old, I remember just dreaming about winning this title. And when I won on that day in 2022, I realized that all the losses I had before, they all built up to that moment. Like I truly believe that the losses that I had I not received them, I wouldn't have been who I was on that day to get that title. And even actually 1 month before the World Championships, I was at a competition in Abu Dhabi, and I got caught in a knee bar, and my knee hyperextended. And like if you know something about me, a lot of people know this about me. I don't like to tap, and I think people realize that.
Really?
Yeah. After I competed in the UFC, that was 4 weeks ago. A lot of people realize that I don't like to tap, and so I got caught in a knee bar when I was in Abu Dhabi, and I didn't tap, and my knee hyperextended, and it like made this crazy noise. And the guy that I was fighting, actually, I got really lucky. He was a guy that I knew like since he was a purple belt, and like he like overextended my knee, and he actually let go. He goes, "Isaac, are you okay?" And I was like, "Man, it's all good. Like, let's keep fighting, you know." And I ended up winning the match, but I'm actually really lucky that he let it go.
I want to peel the onion back a little bit more on this, but we're gonna take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
We'll be right back, and we're back. Wow, yeah. Why don't you like to tap?
Man, it's just I don't like to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate losing.
Yeah.
I freaking hate it more than anything. I mean, I know how to deal with it when it's done.
Right.
When it's done, I know how to deal with it. But in the moment, yeah, I'll do whatever I can, man. Like this has been like jiu-jitsu competing. It's my life. And even though obviously it's kind of dumb to not tap and then get hurt, and then it's not really your life anymore because you can't compete. So those are things I am learning. Like after what happened a few weeks ago, I've definitely come to terms with like, okay, you know what, I need to be more careful, because I got really lucky with my arm.
First of all, amazing performance, especially in that first fight you had.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, against Keith Kokorian.
Wow, man. And I know, like, listen, I've been doing this for almost like just 3 years, but I can tell like that was probably one of the most intense matches for me to watch in terms of just jiu-jitsu overall. And does it ever play in your mind just the rankings thing, because you're at such a high level and you're at an elite level, you know what I mean? And I don't know does that ever play in your mind, like, oh, I'm going against the number 1 ranked person, or the number like 2, or they're ranked above you? Does that ever play into your mind or start to play in your mind?
For me, I don't let it too much, because I know my value. I know what I'm capable of. The reason why I had such a low ranking on the show, so on the UFC BJJ show, there was 8 of us, right? There was 8 of us in our division. They ranked me last because I've never competed in no-gi, right? The last time I competed in no-gi, I think I was like 14 years old, so I don't really count that. But so since I had no experience no-gi, they ranked me last, and then Keith Kokorian was ranked first. So organically, the top seed always gets the last seed. That's how the brackets always work, at least with jiu-jitsu. And so since I had to fight him in the first round, yeah, you know, I didn't let it bother me, because I know what I'm capable of. Like I know Keith, like, respect to Keith, but like, you know, even though I've had such short time only training no-gi, you know, I've competed at the highest level. I've beaten the biggest names. I've won world championships. I've won, you know, Brazilian national. I've won almost every major championship in the gi. So I know what that feeling feels like. I know what it's like to be under pressure. I know what it takes to win. Right. So I didn't really let it bother me. It was a matchup I was really excited about. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was definitely like an interesting experience, because you know, I got the call to do the UFC BJJ show 2 weeks before the show. So I had literally just gotten back from Brazil. I competed in the Brazilian Nationals in the gi 2 weeks prior. I arrived Monday, and I think like Monday night or Tuesday morning, I got the call like, hey, you want to do the show? And I was like, let's do it. So I had 2 weeks to prepare. So I took off the gi. I trained as much as I can no-gi, and I was like, I'm going to be going against like pure no-gi guys, but I didn't care, you know. It was just, I know I know how big of an opportunity. I knew how big of an opportunity it was to not just only compete for the UFC, but also be in a reality show and be the part of something where it's the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's being a part of the first something. So, yeah, I knew it was a huge opportunity, and that's why I fought the way I did in the show. I mean, I always fight with my heart out, but this especially, I was like, man, like this is a huge platform. This is a big audience. Like, I'm not just gonna let this slip through my fingers, right? Like, it's like my episode with Keith, it has over 1 million views, right? So it's like, I knew that this was the type of viewership. I know that was that's what the potential was. So I knew I wasn't gonna let this slip through my fingers. I was like, I'm gonna fight my heart out, because this is what I've trained my whole life for, just for opportunities like this.
I have a fellow jiu-jitsu friend who actually just shot some amazing photos with. He's a photographer. His name's Gary. And I asked him, like, why do you like jiu-jitsu? And he told me it has the potential for honesty, the capacity to be honest. And with that fight, I really felt your passion. It's coming from a real place, man. And it's like kind of like acting. You can tell when like an actor's just kind of like performing. It's not like coming from a real place versus like somebody who's like, whoa, I could feel that through the lens, through the TV, on the stage, whatever. And I think with all the matches that I've seen, and especially that one, like I could feel that passion, and that it was coming from your heart, man. Like you were just putting it all out there. So that's pretty amazing that you're able to perform at that level. And I think it's really important to recognize that, because I feel like when we're on this journey through life with our craft, and especially if we've been doing it for decades, a lot of people forget that. So it's cool that you still have it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a crazy fight, man. I had to literally come back from the dead to win that match.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Cardio.
Yeah, man. That was, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just think that, because have you ever trained no-gi?
Oh, yeah. I prefer no-gi.
Oh, you prefer no-gi?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because I think I've only ever seen you in the gi when you take my gi classes, right?
That's right. And it's been a while, because right now I'm at Highland Park just because of my acting schedule and stuff.
Okay.
So, but I'm trying to make it back to Sunday nights there.
Yeah. So, no-gi, because with the gi you have all this cloth, right? And you can have all this control. And if you're a much higher level than someone, it's like, it's very hard for you to ever really get tired, because you're just always in control. You're always ahead, and you always have grips, and you have an angle. You flank someone. You can maintain that flank usually with some kind of a slack or reinforcement.
Yeah.
But no-gi, it's obviously it's like my body versus your body, but zero grip. So it's like it gets slippery, and then there's more hooks. I mean, I have to create more hooks on your body, but I could be in a good position, but very easily it's like we can go from you could go from bad spot to like a neutral spot, like very quickly. And so in training, I was feeling very good no-gi wise, right? But also because I think I don't really have a lot of no-gi training partners. Mainly it was just gi guys, like, hey, you're doing the show, like let's just take off the gi and train with you. So I didn't really get to feel that type of like that type of pressure, especially because Keith is like he's very good, very well known. And also organically, competing versus training, it's always going to be, there's higher stakes. Everyone's going to always go way harder. The adrenaline, you're going to adrenaline dump, and like all these different factors are going to come into play that you don't really get a chance to deal with in training. So I just think that it being my first competition no-gi, not really knowing how to pace myself, like that was one thing, because in this format for the UFC BJJ, there's 3 5-minute rounds, and you have to win each round. And when the round ends, it starts a new round, and then nothing that happened in that last round can affect the scoring on that next round. So obviously the idea is to win each round, but I think just I went so hard in the first round and then taking into account all the things I just explained, but also like, okay, I got to win this round. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then like, burning myself out. Once the second round hit, that's when I was like, I was gassing out, and the Keith started putting on the gas. And then, I put me in a lot of really bad positions, and I had to basically survive that round. And then somehow in the third round, I just like shut my brain off, and I just went total zombie status, and somehow came back from the dead and was able to do enough in that round to win the match.
That's a fun chapter, man, in your life.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, that's one. I'm glad it's immortalized on YouTube now.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that it had that viewership. It's like, that's probably one of the craziest matches I ever had in my entire life. And the fact that like probably most of the jiu-jitsu community. I don't know about most, but a big chunk of the jiu-jitsu community, and then not too, right? Because a lot of MMA fans watched it, got to witness that. It's like, that's pretty cool.
You know, I consider myself so lucky in this lifetime because of a lot of things. But one thing in particular is I've had access to so many people who are master craftsmen in a ton of different things. And I've been able to study them, talk with them, and hang out with them and learn from them. And the stuff that I've learned, I've been able to apply to acting. And I feel like that's just an incredible gift that is in this day and age so accessible to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Especially with just the pure fact with the internet. You know, you get to learn all these things, or like instructionals that you have at like a great price on that people can buy. No other time has that been possible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu first came to America, you know what I mean? It's not like you can just go online and then, oh, okay, there's a school just down the road or whatever, you know? So I highly encourage people to take advantage of that. And especially if you're like in the LA area, like I'm not just saying that because you're here or whatever, but like go check out Little Tokyo Fight Club. You know what I mean? Like you're going to experience something that's challenging, difficult, and uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, it's going to make you a better person and or reveal who you truly are right now. And hopefully that encourages you to refine that and refine that and refine that.
That's what I think what's cool about jiu-jitsu is a couple of things, right? But the first thing is your ability to network, right? Like it really changes. If you come to a city and you don't know a lot of people, and you're just like, you know, you work at a desk job or something like that, and you don't really have access to meeting new people outside of like your work, I think jiu-jitsu is just an awesome icebreaker. You go into the mat, it's like you train with people, and then you become friends instantly, because it's like you share a vibe. Like you're trying to kill each other for 5 to 7 or whatever 10 minutes, and then afterwards it's like you have a good round, and immediately you have something to talk about with that person, and you can just make friends with just anybody, really. And you know, you're in the mat with like doctors, lawyers, actors, like all these different types of people, all these different, like, in all these walks of life. But everyone, when we step on the mat, it's like, you know, we're all equal, and we can all share these moments together and be able to train. And I think that's what's really cool about jiu-jitsu. And then also, you can't hide in jiu-jitsu either.
I love that.
You can't freaking hide, man. Like, so, like, it's almost, you can almost like read, like, I'm not going to say it helps you judge someone, because I don't want to use the word judging, but you can like read someone just almost by sharing around with them, right? You can tell, like, maybe after the round, maybe they don't do so good. Maybe they're like making all these excuses, or maybe they go extra hard, or maybe they try to go for a submission, and then you feel like, man, this person's trying to hurt me. Or you could just feel like maybe you roll someone and they don't give up, or maybe you roll someone and they break, or it's whatever. It's like you can get all these different types of like readings from them, and you don't know them immediately as a person, but you get some hints, and like, and sometimes it shows you some red flags, like, oh, maybe I want to stay away from that person, or you could be like, oh, this is a really cool person, like I would like to, you know, maybe hang out or like share a beer with this person or get coffee or whatever, you know what I mean? So It's really cool how jiu-jitsu, it's really weird how you, in lots of ways, that you just can't really hide, you know?
And to branch off that, my capacity for grace for people has expanded too. And yeah, sometimes you roll with somebody like, you know, like, and I'm probably still there too, but like a spazzy white belt, spazzy blue belt, you know what I mean? And depending on the role. And at first I was like, this person is fucking trying to kill me. Like, I don't want to, like, you might like choose your sparring partner just to be safe. But then after a while it's like, oh yeah, they're just learning, and so am I. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so that capacity for grace for people. And maybe sometimes people are just having like a bad day. Do you know what I mean? Or are just scared, which is totally like that. Fine. Yeah. It is terrifying. Like, like, dude, like, this is not normal behavior for this day and age to just be like, cool, let's sweat on each other and try to choke each other out. It's like, that's not normal. For sure. And to be this close to somebody, you know what I mean? You're like, you know what I mean? That's not comfortable. But slowly, it's really amazing watching people grow.
Absolutely.
And I get to help out with the kids classes at Highland Park Fight Club, and watching those kids the shy ones, they're in their shell and then they're slowly coming out of their shell.
Yep.
Bro, that is one of the best feelings in the world. Or when they get something, they're like, oh, I got it. And you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool to see someone's confidence grow.
Yeah.
Like I've rolled with people where I feel them like really giving up, and then you have a couple talks to them, you show them a couple things, and man, like, it's okay. You don't have to hold back. Like, and you can feel them like go a little bit harder, or they believe in themselves a little bit more, and they instantly feel stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, wow, it's like really cool to witness someone like growing, and then seeing that part of their journey,
Absolutely, man. That's really great. Okay. We had a couple of fan questions come in. I'm going to do those. And then we also have some rapid fire, which I think would be a lot of fun to do with you.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. I have some AKs in the back.
Okay.
That was such a dad joke. Oh my gosh. I don't even have kids yet, but my dad jokes
I'm the
are
king
just.
of dad jokes.
I love them. Maybe it's because I'm hanging out with the kids so much. I'm doing the dad jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just getting funnier. So, Alex.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with the first three, just to be fair. Who submitted?
Yeah, of course.
So the first one is, what is your diet like?
My diet.
Your diet.
Oh, my diet. So my diet's gone through like many different phases.
Mm-hmm.
For a while I was doing like that carnivore diet.
Yeah.
And then my LDL levels got like really bad. Like last time I checked my cholesterol, I think it was like my LDL levels were like 240.
What?
Yeah, dude. My doctor called me and they were like, we need to put you on statins or give you some kind of medication. And I was like, hold on. I was like, give me a chance to like get this down. Yeah, my cholesterol levels are bad.
Bro, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's something that runs in my family, like high cholesterol and stuff like that. I just did my plaque score and all that, and I should find out my blood work Monday, so I'm worried about my cholesterol levels.
Yeah.
240 is high, though, dude.
Yeah, because I think over 100 is like, there's already a red flag.
Yeah. Okay, so what happened?
So I haven't gotten my blood checked. This is back in December. So like, I've gone through many phases, and then now like, I just finished competing like 4 weeks ago. I finished the show, so my diet's been kind of bad. I'm like having some beers every now and then. So my diet right now is not that good, but so I definitely don't want to check it now. But my goal is to like really clean it up, and then next month like try to go and get it checked out. But
okay,
in general, like I try to eat like clean. It's really weird because I had high cholesterol levels, but I'm very active. I'm training hours and hours a day.
Yeah, that is.
I don't eat like bad, right? I don't eat that bad. I'll
No.
maybe a couple beers on the weekend and like red meat a few times a week. But the thing is, when I got that checked, I think we had a bunch of boiled eggs in the fridge for a couple of days. So I don't know if that like spiked it. I was eating like boiled eggs for a couple of days, but I don't know. Can it go up that quickly just from like?
Well, from bro science, that probably had an effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, eggs are supposed to really affect your cholesterol.
Yeah. But it's like, it's weird because with the whole carnivore diet movement, with the Paul Saladino thing, they're all saying that like cholesterol's not bad, like LDL's not bad. It's only bad if you have like, I'm not like, I don't know. I have like much knowledge about this stuff, so I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But like, if you're like triglycerides are like really high plus, like, so you're like borderline diabetic, and then you have like high LDL levels, and it's bad. But I don't know. I just seeing the numbers that high, I was like, okay, I gotta change something.
I think from the studies that I've read, and this is actually like a real answer that I feel confident behind. It's calorie restriction, like at a certain point. Like I feel like moderation, everything in moderation, because somebody went on like a heavy calorie deficit, but they only ate like Twinkies and like bullshit stuff.
Yeah.
And they only had like, I don't know, like 800 calories a day or something, and they were exercising. Blood work came out wonderful.
Really?
So it's like a calorie restriction thing at the same time too, depending on how old you are, what you need to burn, how much you're burning. So that's the thing that I found that generally works for people. But of course, there's like a lot of factors like genetics, any like pre-existing conditions, that sort of thing.
Like I've had high cholesterol. The first time I found out I had high cholesterol, I was like 12. So I've had it for like a long time. I think it's just a genetic thing.
That might be a genetic thing.
Yeah, so I have to be a little careful. My dad, he had it. He had high cholesterol. I think my mom too. Maybe she might have it. But
how good are burgers? Seriously,
burgers are so good. Red meat's just the best thing ever. Love
Bro,
red meat.
I live right by an In-N-Out.
Oh, that's gotta be a problem.
You don't know how bad every single night I'm like, well, I can just get an In-N-Out right now.
Yeah, just right there.
That and sushi. I could go
Sushi's
broke
good.
off. I could literally go like justify going broke. Like, well, it's sushi.
It is sushi. Yeah. Sushi's good.
Anyway, Next question.
Okay. Best instructional for straight ankle lock in the gi.
Oh, that's a great question.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Foot Lock the World by Isaac Doederlein. It's on DoederleinJiu-Jitsu.com. Check it out. If not mine, definitely Mikey Musumeci's got, amazing foot lock instructionals as well. Not ankle. They said ankle lock.
Yeah, ankle
I don't do
lock.
ankle locks. I do foot locks. A little bit different.
Yeah.
I attack here. They attack here.
Interesting. Okay.
I've got a little story about Mikey. First time he came into Little Tokyo. Mind you, I'm still new to somewhat. I'm still new to jiu-jitsu, but like something that's really surprising when you're working with, people who've done this type of martial art most of their life is the fingers and the feet of people. Dude, gnarly. Gnarly. Like they look like pads.
Yep.
His feet.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I mean, I know you're used to it by now, but I'll let you know, like, people who are not seeing that on a daily basis, you're just like, whoa, that's crazy. How are your fingers, by the way?
My fingers are they're doing better because of, I'm doing no-gi, but this is still pretty bad. I don't know if you can see.
Which camera can we get them on?
That one.
This one?
Yeah.
So this, up until a few weeks ago, like this finger, I can bend it till about maybe here. This one, see that? But, that's about as far as it goes.
What's going on with that?
Yeah, man. I just jammed it once, and then I kept training, and then just never been the same.
Do you do, and who knows if, it might work because it worked for my shoulder. The CBD, you ever do CBD?
I've done it a couple of times because people have given it to me, but I've never really felt that big of a difference,
Right.
I feel more when I take, like, ibuprofen.
Okay.
And I feel like that works better. The CBD thing, it's like cool. But if I just take ibuprofen, I feel like that just gets the job done,
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's classic.
I mean, who knows? Ibuprofen has like that red dye probably, so it's probably not that good for you, but
Definitely not. But it makes you feel better. So.
makes you feel better, yeah.
All right. Last but not least.
If someone wants to sponsor me though, CBD, and pay me good money, all day CBD 100%. But I don't have any sponsors, so I'm not going to hold back right now. Maybe in a few months that'll change.
Okay. What keeps you going when you feel tired or discouraged?
I think the growth, focusing on the growth of jiu-jitsu. The growth. So I think when I'm feeling discouraged, maybe even from like, let's say like a bad competition or something like that, I feel like there's always like a 2-3 day period, maybe even a week long period where you're just kind of like depressed. You're like, man, that sucks. I really wish I did better. Just because like, especially when you've won things, like what the other side looks like, right? So then there's a time of like discouragement. So I think what always gets me back to like square one is focusing on growth and focusing on like what is in my control, and like falling back in love with like learning. Because I don't just I don't just do jiu-jitsu because I like to compete. If I just like to compete, I would have quit a long time ago. What keeps me going in jiu-jitsu is the constant growth. Like, okay, I can always focus on this position, or I can improve this part of my game. I know I'm very honest with myself, I think, from all the years of experience. So I know what I have to work on, right? And so didn't go my way. Okay, here's the things I got to work on, and that's what I'm going to focus on. That's where I'm going to pour my energy. So my energy goes back to basically just getting better. So I think that keeps me honest with myself and just helps me focus on like what's most important. So I will give myself a little bit of time to like feel bad for myself and feel discouraged, but then after that it's like, all right, you know what, like no sad stories, like it's on to the next thing. Like we gotta, because I've noticed like if you let yourself get in that rut too long, like no one's gonna pull you out but yourself, right? So you just have to be honest with yourself and know what you got to do to get the job done.
I love that, man. Finding that inner strength.
Yeah, man. It's just, and then like my inner strength is the I'm in love with the process. I'm in love with learning, And if you're only in love with winning, then it's like it can be a very toxic relationship, But if you're in love with learning, I'm very aware that like I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses in anything, not just jiu-jitsu, but in life. Like I'm not a master at a lot of things, so I walk into every situation with an open mind, and I'm just ready to learn. And I think that's like having a healthy relationship with learning has helped me stay positive and always moving forward.
Yeah. But you have to kill the ego.
You have to. Yeah.
Because that's like super difficult to do with someone who has like a giant ego about that, right?
Yeah.
So like, I like, not to cut you off, but that's so hard for a lot of people.
It is. I've noticed that.
And for me, it's like time and experience and constant discipline and constantly putting myself in like things that make me feel like a white belt.
Yeah.
You know, the white belt mentality where it's like, well, this is brand new, this is scary, this is uncomfortable. That helps me kill the ego tremendously. So to someone who doesn't have that, what do you recommend?
Man, it's hard to teach that to someone. I just think that you have to let them fail, and they have to come to terms with like, okay, what do I have to do? Because if they're not, I mean, everyone fails, right? But I think I think the problem is that most people, when they fail, they just create excuses, right? And they try to make themselves feel better about the situation, and then eventually they get over that time, and then they keep, and then they just go on to the next thing, and then they have an ego, and then something happens, they're gonna create those excuses. So you have to somehow, it is hard, because I've dealt with people that it's like you try to keep them accountable, but they have to kind of come to it on their own terms. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is a hard thing to teach someone, but I think you have to come to someone where they're at their lowest point, because if they're like at a middle ground, or they're on a high, they're gonna if they think that if they got a big ego when they're when they're at the bottom of something, then if you try to talk to them at any other time, it's just gonna go in one ear and out the other. So I think that if you're gonna teach it to someone, you gotta hope that they come to terms with it when you talk to them when they're in their most vulnerable state. So when they're kind of at that rock bottom.
Has that backfired ever? Because the
I
reason...
So I wouldn't say like it's backfired, but you just see it. You try to say something to someone, and then they just kind of okay, yeah, and then they go and they do the same thing, and you're like, you know what I mean? So some people, it's just so if you have an ego, or if you're someone that's not going to come to terms with it, sometimes some people are just hard to talk to, and I don't know, you have to find different ways to get to them. But I haven't tried that hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm giving my time, I'm trying to tell you, but okay, no, I'm just gonna focus myself then. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, so you have to. I don't know. It is a hard situation. People are hard to talk to when it comes to that, like with the whole ego thing and being open minded. Like, so I just think that I've lost so many times, and I know I'm not the master of everything, and I think that's also why I've been able to excel in jiu-jitsu, because I'm very open minded and I ask lots of questions, and I'm very honest with myself. So I just know what I have to work on.
Yeah. Well, kind of on the same level of what in terms of this, like somewhat branching out, but I'm trying to prolong my jiu-jitsu journey as much as possible, because I know, I can't do this forever at an extreme like intensity either. But honestly, I want to do it into my 70s, 80s. You know what I mean? I want to still do it. It's fun. So I feel like accepting as well, like for a lot of fighters, like you're in this prime. There is a prime.
Absolutely.
Like whether you like it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, there is a prime to your physical being. And what is your relationship with that, and how do you come to terms with that, honestly? Because I'm lucky in acting, there is no prime. Yeah. You could do that forever.
Absolutely.
But with something like this, it's like you've got this window where make it count. I feel like you're making it count, just so you don't have an existential crisis here on the show.
You're do my best.
No, dude, you're making it really count, and it's an incredible journey. Your kids are gonna look back and like be so proud of their dad, and like all your students and everything. But I mean, what is your relationship with that?
It is that can be a difficult relationship, because I'm a lot of things. I'm a father. I'm a soon-to-be business owner. I'm a teacher, a coach. But I'm also, at the end of the day, I'm an athlete. That's how I started. So that is a big part of my identity. And I would say I can't say it's majority of my identity, but it's a really big part of my identity, right? So it is something that I'm still trying to come to terms with. And I know that, I'm 32. I know that I have a few really good years left. I'm very honest with myself. I know that I'm not going to be 40 years old, like competing with these kids that I fight that are 23, they're all on steroids. You know what I mean? That's just not going to happen. So I think it's what's helping me come to terms with it more is preparing for the next phase. Because if I'm not prepared for the next phase, then it's gonna be really hard to come to terms with. I'm trying to make the last few years of my career count. That's why I'm focusing more on no-gi. That's why I'm trying to focus on working with the UFC and trying to compete on that platform. And I want to really maximize like the last few years of my career. So my eggs competitively are going into that basket, because I know like once that ship sailed, the ship sailed. You know what I mean? But on the back end of it, I'm still, I'm focusing on opening my own gym. I'm opening my gym hopefully soon, Varsity Jiu-Jitsu in Monterey Park. But we're still waiting on that, like with the city stuff, like city permitting and things like that. But that's something that I'm focusing on right now. And then also my family, you know what I mean? Because I know that when the time comes, I have these other things that the one thing that can take care of my family, which is the gym, my business, and then also my family, which eventually they're gonna take care of me, right? But yeah, it is a hard thing to come to terms with. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm not trying to put a specific timeline on what's left of my career, but I know what I want, and I know more or less what I have to do to get it. The only thing is, it's as I have more responsibility, I have a lot of things on my plate, right? It is not easy balancing, right? Like family with the amount of training that I need to get, with also like time focusing on the business and then like other investments and things like that. So I'm trying, and then also my marriage, right? A lot of different things, like my friendships, like it's just a lot, right? Yeah. Your students that look up to you and that need you to like, help them get better. And right. So there's a lot of different things that are kind of like at play right now. But, I'm just trying to maximize what I have, because I know what's left. I know what I have left in my career that I need to do. So, the goal is just to try and get it in, the next few years.
Absolutely, man. I love that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we're back, we're going to do some rapid fire fun questions with you. We'll be back. And we're back. I forgot which camera, because we have so many in the studio.
I've been looking at you this whole time. Am I supposed to be looking like...
Yeah, Isaac, you're supposed to be looking directly into one of the cameras and just make the people who are watching on YouTube just super uncomfortable. Okay. By the way, I'm having a great time with you, Isaac.
Me too, man.
This is the longest we've talked together.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard, right? Like teaching classes and stuff. And
yeah. I wasn't expecting us to be like...
yeah.
Just like, yeah. Like
the only thing that make it better is a couple of beers.
You know what? I rarely drink.
Really?
Rarely. But after a long day filming something and where I'm the director, or a very long day of some kind of production, that's when I want a beer. Or wandering the streets of Japan for the whole day and then beer at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's probably the best time to have a beer ever. Japan's the best.
Bro, if you know anything about this show, our listeners are sick of me talking about how I love Japan and all my stories in Japan. But that's okay, because it's my show.
Yeah, it's your show, yeah.
Deal with it. They're not sick of it. The real fans aren't sick of it. Sometimes I'm like, did I bring it up too much? Then I get insecure.
I love Japan. I could talk about Japan all day.
What's your favorite city?
I mean, the city I've spent the most time with is Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
I have family in Japan.
Yeah.
My mother was born in Mito. Do you know anything about natto? You like natto?
Who doesn't like natto? No, I don't know. I was gonna try to bullshit.
Yeah, you've never had natto?
Natto? No, I didn't. No, I thought it was a city for a second. That's why the way you said it.
Sorry. So the city, I don't know if I said it correctly, but like the city's most known for its natto. It's like fermented soybean.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I have family over there. But usually when I go, I spend most of the time in Tokyo. I'm like teaching seminars and wandering the city, the train station. It's just the vibe is just so incredible.
I'll tell you this: if I won the lottery, you'd know, because I'm doing this show in Japan, uncensored. I'd be living in Nara.
Oh, I've been in Nara.
Yeah,
with all the deer.
Yeah, that's where I want to retire as an old man. Just pet my deer all day.
Really?
I'm being dead serious.
Wow.
Dude.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
You love animals?
I love animals, but also I like a place where you feel like there's a sense of community. That when you do something, it's not just for yourself. And Japan was the place I felt the most of that, honestly.
Yeah.
Listen, no place is perfect. You know, every culture has its ups, its downs, whatever you want to say. But for me, I've got to travel the world. I like the culture a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like it's right.
Yeah.
And I'm a big proponent of the saying, plant trees you'll never see the shade of. And I feel like that's part of that culture.
I feel like everybody in Japan, they all know that they're a part of something bigger than them, and they're contributing to it. And I feel like everywhere else, not everywhere else, but like first world countries, you know, everyone's just like, what can I get from this? Like everything's about me, you know? So I feel like you can almost see it in the environment where it's like people are just taking from it. But there it's like everyone's working together. Like you go up the escalator, everyone's standing on the right, on the left side. And, you know, people like you cross the streets and they're completely clean, or like there's no cars driving and no one's crossing the streets. Right. It's like, it's incredible. It's like everybody could learn something just by spending some time in Japan.
Bro, I bought some stuff from Fuel Hunt. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
It's like no-gi clothing.
Okay.
And they gave me some stickers, and then I put this on here because in a society of takers, be an earner. And I'm like, boom. I like that. I like knowing, like, hey, you have to earn this. Nothing is just, you're not entitled to anything.
No, definitely not.
And I feel like when that mindset shifts to that, your better version, your higher version comes up of who you are. Like, okay, I got to earn this today. I'm going to earn today because, man, it's a blessing. I think people get too complacent with the blessings that they have. Like hot showers, first of all. That wasn't a thing 100 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Little things like that we just get complacent with. Yeah. Being appreciative, being like, okay, I got to earn the day today. I feel like that's very important.
I like that quote a lot.
Thanks, man. I motivate people on the side.
No, I can tell. Yeah. You're motivating me.
Stop. All right, here we go. Gi or no gi?
Can I like give a gray area answer?
Sure, it's up to you. Yeah, these are rapid fire. So.
All right. Gi train, no gi compete.
Love that. Favorite submission?
Footlock.
Favorite or least favorite position to be stuck in?
Side control bottom.
Same. One BJJ rule you'd change?
For an IBJJF?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. That's no advantages.
No advantages.
No
okay.
advantages. Yeah.
Okay. Most underrated technique. I know these are thinkers. These are thinkers. I'm so sorry. Really, that's okay. We'll keep going.
Okay.
We'll keep going if it's too much.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move on.
I don't want to overwhelm you, Isaac.
It's okay.
You're healing right now.
No. Yeah. Everything's going there.
Who's the toughest person you've rolled with other than me?
Competing or rolling?
Both.
Toughest person I've rolled with, probably Mayrum Makine.
Okay, so not me. Just to be clear.
You're the second.
Second. Okay, yeah. That's right. It's on the air. It's that's it. It's not there. What's your walkout song?
My walkout song?
Yeah.
So Fresh, So Clean.
Oh wow. A little fun in that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to? Okay, that's really interesting.
Because we natty, we clean.
We look at that. That's a little bit different for me. I play the 300 soundtrack if I ever competed. What's the one white belt habit you still see blue belts do? These are take your time thinking. I'm just talking, buying you some time. I'm gonna start skipping some of these because
they're your questions.
I know they're my questions, and I've failed you a little bit with these intents.
The one white belt thing I still see blue belts do is when they're in bad positions, they're trying to find a way to latch the person onto them instead of make distance.
Yeah. I've stopped that. Just so
you finally stopped that?
I finally stopped that.
It's been a minute since we trained then.
Yeah. Actually,
it wasn't that long ago. Wasn't that long ago you were doing that?
Come on.
I'm just messing.
You know what's fun? Some days you'll feel great, like I'm learning something, and then other days you'll be like, I don't think I've been learning anything.
That part's not fun. I get that too sometimes though. Happens at every level. Don't worry.
Okay. Here we go. Rank these in order in terms of importance for jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
You got strength, cardio, technique, mindset. Strength, cardio, technique, mindset.
Technique, mindset, cardio, strength.
Okay. Well, I would have said strength first. Coffee before training, yes or no?
Yes.
What kind of coffee do you like?
Black.
Okay. Nice. Pour overs or cold brew or just doesn't matter. Just needs
Drip.
to be drip. Oh, okay.
Simple. I'm simple.
Okay. Last show you binge watched.
The last show I binge watched. I don't really watch much TV, but my wife we're watching a show right now on Netflix. What's it called? ID Detective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't even know the name of the show, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right.
I'm about to watch Squid Games tonight, though. I'm gonna be binge watching the shit out of that.
Oh my God. You've never seen it?
No, so the new one came
Oh,
out.
the new season.
The new season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think it came out yesterday.
Wait, there's 3 seasons now or 2?
1, 2. It's the 3rd season.
Oh, I'm behind.
Came out last night. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't had time. And I'll be honest with you, as an actor who's been acting for a long time, I don't like to watch TV or
really?
movies. I want to act. I just want to be in it.
Really?
Really rarely can I sit down and watch the whole thing.
You don't try to watch it and like study like how people are acting and things like that?
I do that, but I watch clips, and I've been doing that so much of my life. Like, I'm just, I just want to act. I love just the acting portion. Watching it, I'm just like, not a lot of things have moved me in the past. Ever since COVID, not a lot of things have moved me. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm very like, the only reason I'll ever watch any bit of TV is just because like my wife wants to. I don't watch TV at all.
Really?
Movies, I've never really been into it.
Okay.
I think maybe when I was younger, but now it's like, since I have so much, I guess, on my plate that any bit of free time, I'm just trying to push it towards my craft. But obviously, like, wife time is not craft time, so I'm gonna watch shows.
Yeah, that's fair.
That with a beer.
That's fair. Do you ever do like? I mean, I'm sure you have like any moves on her. Has she just like put a stop to that?
All the time. I'm all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's a blue belt. She likes to train a little bit.
Okay, great.
She just hasn't really been consistent just because of like since she got pregnant with the first kid, and then the second kid, and she started training a little bit, and then we got pregnant with the third kid.
No excuses. I'll just say it.
Yeah, no excuses. Yeah. She could train more. I mean, you know.
Some people are already commenting.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'll definitely like gi. Yeah, no, I'm always learning and trying to get better and studying position. So yeah, sometimes randomly I'll like beg her, like, babe, can I just try this one thing on you, please?
Cool.
And then she'll like, so sometimes she'll give in, but most of the time she says no.
That's fair. I like this question a lot. If you could roll with anyone in history, dead or alive, who would it be?
If I could roll with anyone.
I'll give you my answer while you're thinking.
What's your answer?
Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, anybody in history. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay,
yeah. Like for me, because
I thought you were talking about like jiu-jitsu people.
Oh, it could be jiu-jitsu.
Anybody.
It could be anybody. But I said Abraham Lincoln because it's the Fight Club answer.
Yeah.
Where Tyler Durden says Abraham Lincoln because of his reach. And I'm like, oh yeah, he was a tall, lanky dude. You know, I wonder if he was supposed to be strong too. He wrestled.
Oh, he wrestled?
Yeah.
Dang.
So that's why I'm like, that would have been cool to roll with Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
It's a weird one, I know, but
That's a very
Are we out of time? Almost.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll finish up with this
Okay,
answer.
I guess we'll finish. Oh man, that has to be a good answer.
It has to be.
Oh my
Or else
gosh.
we'll delete the episode.
Oh my gosh. If I could roll with anybody in history, who would it be?
It's a tough question. We have to answer it now.
Bruce Lee.
That is a great answer.
Bruce Lee. Yeah.
Whoa. You guys are same weight class too. He's probably a little lighter.
Yeah, maybe. Probably a little bit lighter. Yeah.
I think you'd get him. And I'm not just saying that.
I think I would too.
Yeah. His grappling stuff wasn't very showcased, and I don't think he was good at that.
No, I think that's the reason why it wasn't showcased.
Yeah. So the title of this will be Isaac would beat Bruce Lee in a grappling match, hands down.
That's some good clickbait right there.
I think it. Well, we need the views.
Yeah.
We're no road to UFC.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. Thank you so much, seriously, for coming on the
Thanks
show,
for having
making
me.
time.
Appreciate
I think this is really nice to get to know you a little bit better, and I'll definitely check you out at Little Tokyo again once the schedule clears up.
And
And
Varsity Jiu-Jitsu as well.
yeah, Varsity Jiu-Jitsu. If people want to stay up to date when that opens, they can follow you on Instagram, right?
Yep, at Isaac Doederlein.
At Isaac Doederlein. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
And if people want to get your instructionals too, I want to make sure people, is that your website?
Yep, DoederleinJJ.com.
Great. Awesome. Alex, play us out.
Got it.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show today. Really, really appreciate you all. If you're listening live on Adobe Radio, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms to get the latest updates and the latest shows at Wesam's World on everything. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a nice little episode we did. It's a nice little episode. So make sure you subscribe to us. It helps us with the algorithm and everything. And share with your friends if you got something out of it today. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk. Bye.